Welcome to C-Fan Sports, the sports show that is dedicated to the Seattle sports fan. I'm Dave. This is Kevin. How you doing, Kevin?
I'm great, man. Again, we're going to talk about the Mariners. I can't get any better.
You're kind of giddy. Hey, Kevin, little programming note for everybody right now. We are coming to you on a different day. Kevin and I took a look and said that basically we could end the week on Sunday. So we have the Chicago White Sox series just ended, a double dip that we split. And now we're going to be able to sit here and talk about that. And then we should be able to post that video probably by Monday morning. So you won't be getting kind of stale stuff. We're going to have fresh stuff that we're going to talk about, and very excited about that. So what we're going to start here with Mariner Weekly, and I'm very excited. First thing that I kind of want to get out of the way before we get into the week and how it was, Kevin, why don't we have a new contract in place for Scott Servais and Jerry Dipoto? Which I think, to be honest with you, they have done more for the Mariner organization than I could think of any general manager and any coach manager in team history, especially after the last general manager, drove this car into the ground like a 16-year-old on his birthday. I just think that it was a disgrace what he got handed to him, and all he's been able to do is make it smell pretty, because it didn't look pretty when he took it over. Thoughts, Kevin?
Well, I totally agree. I don't understand why. And it might be the fact that, they gave him a few years to get into the playoffs when they had Cano and,
all those bloated contracts that he was.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That one year we came close to getting a playoff bid. So I just don't know. I mean, I know that we spent the last 3 years basically breaking it all down and redoing everything. I want to give them a shot. I mean, they started it, let them finish it.
Right.
I still believe that we have a legitimate team even this year, and our bats aren't where they need to be, and our pitching's suffering right now. So I think once we get it turned around and we get the bullpen solid again, we get the starting rotation back healthy again, and we get some bats going, I think we have a legitimate shot of making a playoff spot this year. Even on basically, I think it's our third year of the rehab. Jerry's done a phenomenal job of getting high quality future players. Let's let him run with them and see what they can do.
And not only that, but I think that, if you look at what Bob Melvin's doing down in Oakland, that was a guy that we threw to the scrap heap. I think Scott Servais has been an excellent manager, not just Jerry Dipoto, but what Scott Servais has done by changing the atmosphere in the locker room, making these guys buy into the fun and coming to the park every day and giving 110%. I couldn't be more happy with what Scott Servais is doing. And, Jerry Dipoto took the absolute worst farm system and completely flipped it on its ear. And now we're one of the top farm systems that are out there. And not only that, but we're top farm system, and we've got some of that talent at the big league level. Right. And so I see that, the future is bright in Seattle. And I think that if we don't keep Jerry and we move on because he hasn't got to the play, this team didn't have any playoff aspirations, didn't have any hope on the horizon. And now we have hope. I just think that it'd be a great thing. Now, one of the players we've had.
Let me just say something about Scott. I think he's been the perfect coach for a young team.
Right.
He lets them play. He's very, being a catcher. I mean, he realizes he's played the game. He's done it all. And he's able to reach out to these guys. I remember back a few weeks ago when Jared Kelenic was struggling. He put his arm around him. He even rubbed his bat for him. I mean, kind of joking around. They do it, trying to wish him good luck, So I just think that he's perfect for these young guys. Mm-hmm. And I think that he is teaching them on a daily basis. He's got great supporting coaches. I too totally agree that we need to figure out what we want or what they want, re-sign them, and give them another 3 to 4 year contract to see it through. I believe these guys could take us to the World Series.
Those are pretty lofty. One of the things that we're going to need to get to the World Series, Kevin, is starting pitching. And our starting pitching has been solid, except for one guy, Justice Sheffield. Kevin, what do you think is why he's struggling right now? This guy has got a pretty high ERA right now. And
well, watching him last year, the first part of last year, he was struggling. And then he just turned around. Something clicked, and he was lights out. I know 2 years ago they sent him down to AA to work on mechanics or work on his mental aspect. I don't know what they got to do. I know it's hard right now because you got Marco out having a baby. You got Justin out. You've got, we've got a lot of starting pitchers out. So right now we got Logan Gilbert, YK, flexing. Steady flexing.
He's going to probably have to pitch through it. Unfortunately, right now, we do not have the horses in the stable to send him down.
Unless we get Dunn back and Marco back, and then maybe we send him down to AAA to work on it for a few weeks.
That unfortunately is leaving us with a day that we're going to have to turn to the bullpen and have a bullpen day.
Right.
And that did not turn out so hot in the second outing today.
Depends on what happens, with Santiago. I thought he pitched extremely well.
Okay.
I thought
we'll talk about Hector in a minute. Okay?
Yeah, I thought he pitched extremely well, and I believe that he can take that space on a temporary basis.
Okay.
Justice has to go back down, and he has to get his head on, because I believe it's 100% mental. It isn't any more than mental.
Okay.
Our
talent's there.
Tweak here, tweak there. But it's still up in his head, and he doesn't have the confidence to get through these games. It's just not a good thing right now.
Okay, so let's break down the action since the last time we've talked.
Yep.
The last time you and I talked, Colorado was in town. We split with Colorado.
Mm-hmm.
Then we flew to the Windy City, and we took 2 of 3 from a very good White Sox team, and almost tried to come back in the top of the 7th. And who knows, if we would have had 2 extra innings, who knows what we could have done.
I agree. I think we could have swept them if a couple things happened in that last game. I mean, we got Will Vest kind of didn't do very well. Our
don't say it.
I'm not going to say his name, but the player to be named that we're frustrated with right now.
Right.
He didn't even make it a third of an inning.
No.
And gave up 2 runs. You can't do that. Those 2 runs cost us that game. And go back to Colorado, the game we lost from Colorado, Justice Sheffield.
Yeah. So it's right now. We got a couple of weak links in our pitching staffs, both relievers and starting.
Yes.
So let's start in Colorado then, Kevin. We took the first game, and then they came back and beat us in the second. Anything that you saw in that Colorado series that you were thinking needed to be?
Well, I thought Colorado was actually better than I thought.
Than advertised, right?
Yeah, I mean, so maybe our guys were taking them for granted. I thought, pretty sure Flexen pitched the first game. I thought he did a good job. He's steady. And
flexing.
He kept us in that game, and we ended up winning. So, and then we got behind with Sheffield, and they actually have a good pitching staff, and so we end up losing that game. I thought it was a great series.
Then as like I said before, that we flew to the Windy City. Now we just got done with the first game. Kikuchi is just balling out.
Oh my God.
YK. Oh my goodness. I am loving me some Kikuchi right now. Not only that, but on the hitting side, this guy that you and I, we were before there was a Montero, there was a Luis Torrens.
Yep.
So Luis Torrens has come back and said, Dave, I'm going to prove you wrong. So hopefully Montero is watching us. And he does the same thing. He does the same thing. And he's like, okay, I'm going to go down to I'm going to do something and improve. I don't know if he has any options to go down to AAA or not, but.
Well, let's talk about Luis a little bit. Since he's been recalled. Now, I know I wanted Cal Raleigh to come up.
Yeah, you did.
And I was like devastated when you told me that, Torrens was called back up to the big leagues. And I almost started crying. Now,
yeah, big tears.
I'm a fan of Trent's. I thought he did a great job last year, and I think he's a solid hitter. He is a real good hitter and a decent backstop. But he was struggling something fierce, and he even said, I needed to go down to get my head straight.
Wow.
Well, he's come back. He's hit 9 for 27. He's batting 333 right now. 5 home runs since he's been called back up.
Wow.
9 RBIs and 7 runs. That's been a productive week, little over a week and a half.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're staying above that Mendoza line. That's what we were asking for, and that's what they're giving to us. And he's excelled way past that, above 300.
Yeah.
So yeah. And then you have a stat line on Kikuchi?
I do not have one on Kikuchi, but I do have one on Logan Gilbert for that rained out day.
Let's jump to the next day where the monsoon came into the Windy City and Logan was on the hill and he was pitching his heart out. What was he looking like before we got the rain out?
Well, Logan pitched two complete innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, and he looked like he was in total control of that game. We would have, in my opinion, easily won that game if we would have been able to play at least 6 or 7 innings of Logan Gilbert pitching.
He was cruising.
He was cruising.
He was, yeah. And then looked like Taylor Trammell came in and he did some good things at the plate.
Yeah.
Another guy that we had given up on earlier on the season. They went down to AAA and comes back up and is productive. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He's still kind of the odd man out right now, but he's been very, very good and he's just playing well. So
I don't know, Kevin, he's going to play himself into having us make a decision on what we're going to have to do. And I tell you what, if Kyle can't come back and play center field, he may be the guy. He may be the man. And I would not be upset about that. So that was the first game of the double dip. We won that one, 3-2, Kevin? Is that correct?
3-2, yeah.
Yep. And then
by 3 home runs, actually.
2
from Taylor and I think
one
T.Y.
Mitch.
France.
Or was it T.Y.? I thought it was Mitch, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah.
I know Mitch hit one in the second game. I know that much.
Mm-hmm.
So let's travel to the second game. The 7 innings, not a big fan of it, but it is what it is. We had 7 innings. We rolled the bell pin out there and Santiago came up and he's the first pitcher in the major leagues to be kicked out for illegal substance. He said it was sweat and rosin, and he said, I'm sticking to it. Quite literally, that's the end of the story.
Me too. I'm sticking with it. I don't even care if he gets suspended.
Right.
Let's just, although, if he does get suspended, we can't replace him. So that's a negative. But hey, I'm all for it. I mean, how many of those guys from the 70s, 80s, 60s rubbing themselves everywhere with different things on different shoulders? I mean, it's part of the game forever.
Not anybody in the Major League Baseball front offices or the main office is agreeing with you right now, Kevin.
No, I agree with you.
Well, unfortunately, Kevin, here's if you want to just boil it down, unfortunately, runs are what sells the game of baseball.
Right.
Not many people want to watch a 1-2 game or a 1-0 game, or they want to see runs. They want to see home runs. That's when the excitement hits. That's why that game of soccer is probably not as popular as it should be. But
right. Well,
who am I to say?
I love a great pitching duel, but I like points too. I mean, I love to see a run scored, man.
Hey, Kevin, chicks love the long ball. That's all we have to say with that.
If that's what
anyway, so that's pretty much the week in the major leagues. Since last time we talked, we went 3-2, and right now we're 41 and is it 32, Kevin?
Get back to my notes here.
All right. Well, Kevin's looking up his notes.
41 and 38.
41 and 38. Now,
7.5 games out of first, 5.5 games out of the wild card, and we are definitely still in third place.
Definitely third place. Boy, Houston and Oakland I thought, we must be doing much better. And I looked and there's quite a gap there still.
Yeah.
But that's okay.
Yep.
So, Kevin, since we got the big league club all tied up in a nice, pretty knot and bow, let's head to the minors and do a quick minor league report.
Yeah.
Let's start there in Tacoma. Let's get a Jared Kelnick report. You got one of those for me, Kevin?
I do, but let's talk. I mean, since we had our last Mariners Weekly,
Sure.
They had 2 wins, 2 losses.
Okay.
They are currently 24-19, and they moved up to second place in their division.
They don't have an Oakland over there, do they?
No, our Houston.
Houston. Okay. Excellent.
I do want to mention Cal Raleigh's still tearing it up. He's down to a 342 batting average this week, not a 350.
Boy, he's falling like a rock, isn't he?
I know. And Marmoleos still tearing it up, 329.
Marmoleos. Okay.
So
and then Jared, anything?
Jared Kelnick, for the last week, I counted it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games.
Okay.
He's 8 for 24, 333 batting average.
All right. Any home runs?
He has. Hold on. He's got 8.
I'm excited.
I know 8 RBIs,
Mm-hmm.
9 runs, 5 walks. To me, that says something. That's pretty impressive. Wow. He's got 4 strikeouts, and he hit 2 home runs in the same
2
game.
dingers. Yeah. So anything else down there in over there in Tacoma that we need to talk about?
No, I just think Kelnick's found his groove again, and I think he's turning it back on. It'll be fun to watch this week, see where he's at and see where his mind's at, but he's definitely figured out what was missing, and he's starting to play well.
Well, good thing. Him being like Stella got his groove back. Excellent.
Oh, and by the way, I did forget to mention something.
Okay.
One of our favorite pitchers from Arkansas, Ian McKinney, got promoted last week.
Oh, is he pitching in AAA now?
He got promoted to AAA.
Ooh.
His first start last Thursday, they were 7-1 victory. And so
now pitched well, huh?
Yeah. So now he's 4-0 with a 3.2 ERA. So his ERA went up a little bit, and he's got 57 strikeouts. So
is he knocking on Jerry's door?
He's knocking on Jerry's door and saying,
I'm
"Hey,
here.
I'm here. I'm ready to pitch. Give me a couple of weeks in Tacoma, and I'm ready to go.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to play." All right, Kevin, since you brought up that Arkansas place,
yep,
let's jump in the minivan, load it up with some refreshments, and we're heading southeast. Tell us about what's going on in Arkansas, Kevin.
Well, we're still third in the division. We won 3 games last week, lost 3, 24-23, so we're right at 500. Brian O'Keefe, his batting average dropped to 295, and he's the highest batting average on the team. So there's a little bit
struggles.
There's a little bit of struggles. Now, with the promotion of Ian McKinney from AA,
gotcha.
Brandon Williamson from Aquasox got promoted.
Oh,
and he actually pitched very well his first time out in Arkansas as well. And he's currently sitting at a 2-2, 2 wins, 2 losses, 3.75 ERA with 64 strikeouts. So excellent. Good for Brandon Williams. Good for Ian McKinney. I'm excited to see him get promoted.
All right, Kevin. So there we are. We've gone through Arkansas. Now we're heading back. We're going to take a plane back this time to Everett, and we're going to go to the Aquasox. Tell us what's going on in Everett land, Kevin.
Well, they're still second in division, but they're only 1 game out of first right now. So good for them. They had 4 wins, 1 losses since our last report. They're currently sitting at 28 wins, 17 losses.
Gotcha.
Julio Rodriguez is still the man. He is tearing it up, and I don't know why they haven't promoted him to AA yet.
Yeah.
He's batting 325. He's just hitting the ball.
Spreading it all over the field, huh?
Yep. Patrick Frick, the shortstop, is batting 301, and we still have 6 of the top 10 guys batting average-wise. So
why are some of these guys being brought up to AA, Kevin?
Probably room. I'm not 100% sure. I don't know why Julio's not been brought up. He would be my first one to bring up. I did go through and kind of do some research on pitching. Levi Strout with Everett. He's 3-1, 2.9 ERA, 45 strikeouts this year. I'm pretty impressed with that one. So I thought, well, let's take a look at the last 2 first-round draft picks.
Okay.
Emerson Hancock.
Okay.
He's 2-0, so 2 wins, 0 losses, with a 2.42 ERA, 25 strikeouts.
Wow. Okay.
And then Kirby, he's 2-2 with a 3.38 ERA and 31 strikeouts. So there we go. Everett's a very, very stock team, and I am surprised that a couple of these guys are not going to Double A.
Let me ask you a question, Kevin. Are they possibly not sending like a Julio to Double A to avoid the hype of Mariner fans going, okay, he's doing well in Double A, let's push him along to Triple A? I mean, because that's kind of unfortunately what we were seeing and hearing with Jared. Is that the fans were clamoring to get him up, and so if we start moving him along that trail, maybe we start being impatient with Julio, and
so Julio is very young, and he's
only 19, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm not sure exact how old he is currently, but really hasn't had the experience in the United States that long. And so I really think they're playing him slowly, and I think they need to make sure that he's ready to move up.
And not only that, but with being in Everett, it's close to the main major league team. Okay, I could buy that, Kevin. You know what? You sold me.
Well,
I just think that excuse.
I think they're going to play it slowly there, and they will eventually move him up and give him the rest of the year in Double A. I don't think he's going to be a end of the year call up this year.
You think do you think they might throw him Triple A instead of Double A? Maybe that's the thing that they're waiting on, is they're just going to take him straight from Everett, run him right down the corridor to Tacoma.
I don't think so. I think it's important to go through each level of pitching.
We'll see.
I mean, the kid can hit. I mean, he's going to hit in every level.
Okay.
He's never really experienced a struggle.
Right.
So that's why I'm thinking, although you're right, if you go straight to Double A, the air's thin down in Texas, he's going to be hitting home runs every day.
By the way, Kevin, it's
Arkansas, sorry.
Completely different state than
I know. Well,
we're giving Kevin
I need a map when I'm doing my farm league system, but yeah.
Well, we're giving Kevin a geography lesson. We're going to head down to Modesto. Tell us about D's.
Why don't we go to Everett first?
I just told you we were in Everett.
Oh,
Kevin.
yeah, we were in Everett. What am I talking about?
Hey, come on, stick with me, Kevin.
Oh, man, this is brutal on me. Okay, so since our last episode, 2 wins, 3 losses. They're still third in their division at 25-22. Cade Marlowe, their catcher, 301.
He's pretty much the only bright spot, isn't he?
Marte's still 290 something. So that's pretty much the only 2 things. Now, I did do some research on their pitching staff, and they have a pitcher by the name of Taylor Dollard, and he's 3 wins, 2 losses, 3.35 ERA, and he's got 59 strikeouts.
Wow.
I'm excited about Ian McKinney having 57. This guy's got 59, and if my memory is right, he only had 10 walks.
Well, there we go. That's pretty good.
So that's pretty much it. What's going on in the minors?
Well, Kevin, we discussed the big league team. We discussed the minors. I think we can put a bow on this week. And
I think I need to go back to the minor leagues to learn my geography.
Geography.
Yeah.
But what we'd like to hear from you guys is some comments in the comment section. We'd like you to subscribe, because we're excited about doing this. We're going to continue to do it. We want you guys to be along for the ride. And make sure you turn on that notification button so every time we post a new video, you guys are notified. Again, I'm Dave. This is Kevin. We're out.
Peace.